Ed Sheeran has submitted plans to build a burial chamber under the floor of the new boat-shaped church which is being erected in the grounds of his vast £3.7 meters East Suffolk mini village. New pictures show that the place of worship is currently under construction and is covered in scaffolding, while it could soon be joined by a burial zone which would be entered through a slab in the floor. The latest plans mean the pop star, 30, could be buried in the grounds of his Framlingham home if the plans which have been submitted for the tomb are given the go-ahead by council officers. Ed's private place of retreat has been carefully modelled with curved walls on plan and in elevation, which give it a sweeping boat-shaped feel. The burial chamber, which according to plans would be at the back of the building, would measure 2.71 meters by 1.8 meters, which is around the size of a double grave plot. Ed originally failed to get permission for a chapel in his garden, but in 2019 he submitted scaled-down plans which were met with approval by his neighbours, as well as the parish council. Construction has just started on the new building for contemplation and prayer, which is on the north of Sheeran's main house, Winnie's Hall, and close to the eastern boundary of the estate. Scaffolding has been put up and the tall tower, which is at one end of the building, is currently under construction. The building will have a lobby and a nave downstairs, with a spiral staircase to a small gallery, and a main space for activity to the each, which being linked with the rising of the sun is relevant both in the Abrahamic and Oriental traditions and in the more environmentally led philosophies of the present day. The place of worship will have a lead roof, flint walls and stained glass windows. The roof is leaf-shaped and the original plans say the design is reflective of shapes and forms that are familiar to all, allowing each person to interpret its symbolism freely in their own way, which reflects the principle of it being multi-use and non-denominational. The original application stated it would address an important need for a private place of retreat for contemplation and prayer, for celebration of key life and family milestones, family and social gatherings, marriages, christenings and so forth. It's said Ed had guests visiting from around the world, who all have different faiths and customs, and he wanted to provide a space in which he, his family and these visitors could retreat to for contemplation, prayer and relaxation, to meet, celebrate and meditate in peace and safety from disturbance. Ed has spent £4 million buying 5 houses to create his country estate, dubbed Sheeranville, and an additional £3 million on extensive renovations, including a pub, tree house, underground music room and tunnels. He has also added a £500,000 wildlife pond, an outdoor kitchen and a football pitch. He has spent months landscaping the huge estate, which includes a walled kitchen garden, an orchard, a mini paddock for chickens, goats and sheep and an entertainment area with a hot tub and fire pit. In November 2019 it was reported that Ed may have to open his church to the public following a row with his local council. The millionaire music star lodged plans to open the boat-shaped prayer retreat to be used as a private venue, but his local parish council has since claimed that the venue would need to be publicly accessible for at least 3 years in order to be licensed. It's stressed that the current plans were not legal. Dennington Parish Council Clerk Lydia Kirk said at the time, the applicant's statement of need describes the use of the ancillary building as a potential venue for marriages, christenings etc. for family and close friends. The parish council notes that additional licenses would be required under the Marriages and Civil Partnerships, Approved Premises, Regulations 2005. Which would require the licensed premises to be accessible and available for public use for a period of 3 years. As such, This proposed use would be out with the scope of the current application, which is for a private use ancillary building only. Donald & Soul Associates, Ed Sheeran's planning agent for the project, said, "It would address an important need for a private place of retreat for contemplation and prayer, for celebration of key life and family milestones, family and social gatherings, marriages, christenings, and so forth." It would also allow the applicant's family, friends and colleagues to be able to enjoy these things and join them in their observance. The proposed building would be a space truly ancillary to the main house but apart from it in order to provide calm and separation. The applicant has guests and visiting colleagues, people from around the world. Many of these people are from many countries, faiths and customs, including for example the USA, Ireland, Ghana, Nigeria, Asia, and Australia. Ed has since came to an agreement with the parish council regarding his new place of worship. Sheeranville is not without controversy, with Ed clashing with his neighbors in the past. The star has been involved in several legal disputes over his rights and his neighbors' rights to expand their respective land masses. More videos. 1, 2, 3. Watch video. Miranda and Steve get awkwardly intimate on And Just Like That. Watch video. I want to take off all your clothes. Miranda and Che get frisky. Watch video. Cancer sufferer's heartbreaking restoration request on the repair shop. Watch video. Jamie Lynn Spears tears up in emotional GMA interview. Teaser. Watch video. Gino DeCampo surprises his daughter with a new puppy. Watch video. Chris Hemsworth flaunts his strength as chops. Some would watch video. Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson enjoy private dinner date in LA. Watch video. I reject that Ivana Lynch disputes cast with J.K. Rowling. Watch video. Melanie and Martina Grant star in 1990s kids game show Funhouse. Watch video. Carol Vorderman finds out her IQ is higher than other chasers. Watch video. Amber Gill says she disagrees with Molly Mice 24 hours comment. Watch video. Amanda Holden reveals she slipped on black ice naked in her garden in 2020. Ed's neighbor, Anthony Robinson, won a battle against the superstar who rejected Mr. Robinson's plans to extend his back garden. Mr. Robinson, who lives 3 houses along from the pop star's estate, was given permission to make his back garden 160 feet bigger despite Ed's objections. Mr. Robinson already owned the field behind his 4-bedroom home, which is worth £550,000, and wanted to incorporate some of it into his private garden. But Ed, who had undertaken his own vast building project just a few hundred feet away, did not want the space to be domesticated. He claimed it would extend the village into the countryside in an unplanned and artificial way. Although the council objected to Mr. Robinson's proposal initially, many neighbors wrote in to support him and his plans were eventually approved. In June 2020, the singer had to fight to be able to keep the 16-feet pub sign he had hung outside a barn converted into a drinking den. Although he had been given planning permission for the pub in 2017, he had not been given permission for the sign, which caused locals to question why it was there. Sheeran was also told he could not swim in his wildlife pond after he was granted permission to build it under the condition that it was used to provide a natural habitat for frogs, newts and dragonflies. The council visited his property and specifically forbade recreational leisure such as swimming. He was also forced to remove his outside sauna, in a caravan next to the pond, after neighbors complained. Ed bought his first home in the site, a new build, for around £900,000 back in 2012.